Okay. All right. We are live, but not quite starting yet. Unless you want to start.
Whenever you want to start, it's
Whatever.
not going to make
Then
any
we've
difference.
then we've started. Oh jeez. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh no.
No amount of time is going to change the results of my
Oh
weeks.
no. Oh no. Doom.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right. Well, let's start with you then. Let's get
Okay,
your embarrassment out of the way first.
get out of that way. Yeah, I didn't get much done this week at all. I mean, I watched the video and I downloaded the brushes, imported the
Mm-hmm.
brushes, and beyond that, I got nothing done.
What was your
I
limiting factor?
My dog died,
Oh. We've
and
talked about this, but I wanted everybody else to know too, and that's very sad.
yeah, yeah, my black lab died in my living room during work.
Oh wow.
So I put in time and cut out and had the family there, and we had to eventually bury her in the backyard. So I dug that hole and carried her out, and it was a day. it was
Yeah.
it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. Um, I mean, I was kind of like, I always prided myself in being a cat person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Death of my dog, man, it hit me hard.
I could imagine. Yeah. I'm not gonna. Yeah. I'm a cat person too, but I mean, you can still love dogs. You.
Right. No, I love I love the cat as an animal,
Like, yeah, the
as a
concept of it.
just it's so cool, and fun to watch. But my dog loved me, and I loved her, and we had a different relationship, and
You're. It's a bad time to interject here, but your mic, your your web camera is desynced from your voice.
really,
Yeah, it's like a whole second.
and how do you think we can solve that? Do we need to
Uh,
pause the video and figure that out?
um, no, I'll just cut it out. Let's. Oh, it's all blurry now, James.
Excellent.
You're a blurry boy.
Okay, so that seems to still be displaying fine then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you look and sound good. Well, I mean, as good as you can, which is great. Whoa!
Oh.
Was that flex for the camera? Because we're
No,
digging it.
hopefully we can just start up from
Oh no,
this moment.
no. That's making it on the camera. I'll do one too. Ooh. It just feels good to stretch, Or
Yes, it
flexing at the
does.
same time. Like, it's just, just a happy coincidence.
Yeah, so the dog dying. was a lot of time spent with the wife who had a rough time with it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of walks and talks, and some regrets. You always think about these things when, I guess, people or animals die, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
it definitely made me reevaluate how much time I spend doing things. And I think it actually will change the way I deal with stuff. And it actually solidified how I wanted to have 410s instead of a normal schedule. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, you know.
So, what's the benefit of 410s in regards to this?
Well, after talking with Heather, I have come to the conclusion that I do seem to have 2 days off that I'm trying to plug in three aspects of who I am into it. I have the aspect of just me. I want to, have some time to actually, sit back and do what I want to do, play some games, watch some shows, or relax, or do whatever. And then there's the aspect of family obligations, and you need to spend time with your family and have relationships and do what they want to do. And then there's the aspect of just getting things done. And that's the things that kind of like we're working on here. And but there's also, you got, I got a house, I got a yard, I got things to do related to that. Just general upkeep of the things that I have and dealing with that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like business, family, personal. It's kind of the three categories that I have. And regulating what percentage of my weekend, what percentage of those 2 days that I have these three categories to plug into. Um, my wife's like, that's one of your problems is that you have a problem managing how much of that, you always seem to have to give up something or want to, and she's right. I do, go up and down with how much I want to spend in what category or how much I
Mm-hmm.
have to. And I'm fighting to push all that in. And sometimes I get, uh, just to the point where I'm just like crazy needing to like just have some time for myself, and then I get upset because I haven't worked on stuff. And then I have my family's pulling me always to do things. So I think that she's right in that if I had a dedicated day for each of these kind of things, I could manage it a little better, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she might be right because yeah, there's a few hours out of each day that I've kind of dedicated to certain things, but it's not. It's not. I'm the kind of person that likes to have the entire day to do things the way they would want, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so like if I'm gonna have it's my day off, I can do whatever I want. I also have a few hours to just meaninglessly do stuff, and
Right.
and relax or go lie down, take a nap, or let my mind wander. Um, but if I have like set hours that I'm doing things, it's I feel more like I don't have a choice, like I don't have the ability to be spontaneous in any way, and I think that messes with me. So anyway, I think 410s are going to be the way that I'm going to try it, and if I have the opportunity to do that, if I don't,
Yeah.
well, whatever. Uh,
Um, I like 410s because you do get that extra day. It does make those 4 days a lot harder though. And I found on Thursday that calculator I made really did help with me being okay with how long the day was.
nice.
Did you end up trying that calculator?
I tried, and then my computer was like, "Virus detected." I'm
Oh,
I'll just leave it alone for now. It was
oh, that's sad.
late.
Seems to be a reoccurring theme with the thing, but whatever. I made it myself, so I know it's not viruses.
Okay, I'm just gonna talk to Joe about it. See
No.
what he says. But I'd rather you just show me the program real quick instead of like trying to figure out
Oh, yeah.
that.
Okay, let me just show you
You
what
know
it
what I
does.
mean?
It's really simple. I wrote it. I had actually, that's not true. I didn't write it. I had ChatGPT write it for me
In what language or what
in Python.
in
Um,
Python? I need to get like Python compiler and that stuff from you after we do this and stuff. That would be pretty cool.
okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Anyway,
It was really easy.
well,
So
yeah,
it's not
sounds like it.
showing. Yeah, I did it during my lunchtime. Oh, that's right. Um, 1 second. Schmo and James. No. Oh, you
I
should see it
see
now.
it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So basically, you just put your pay rate in, right? So I've calculated that I make $12.50 after taxes and everything. You click start, and it just slowly increments as the day goes on. And so you can like look over and see how much money you've made so far today, and that feels good.
Nice.
And then I pause it. You pause it for your lunches, and then it resumes.
Excellent. That's fun.
Yeah, it makes it for me. It reconnects the fact that working equals money, because I'm used to now getting a paycheck every week, but I feel like sometimes my brain doesn't comprehend that like there's a connection between this shitty thing you don't like to do and the money you
That was
make.
it's kind of like the simplest version of the first program I told you to try to think about writing, which was I wanted to make a program where you could have basically a meeting and people would sign in and it would take your actual amount of money you make and it would all pool it together so that everybody could see in real time how much this meeting is costing so they don't screw around like they always do in meetings. Like, oh my gosh, this is like, just look at that thing. It's like thousands of dollars going up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty fun
Hmm.
and help people stay on track.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's cool though. I think that's it's valuable seeing that kind of stuff because it does encourage you, especially if you think about putting all that in stocks after a while or something. You know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's a fun little program, and it did help me because I have an issue with putting in time any chance I get. If I have time, I'm putting it in because I just don't want to be on the clock.
Yeah, I kind of do that too now. I have a we have our kind of like paid personal time, and then we got the
Mm-hmm.
unpaid time. I don't use any unpaid time. I'm storing that. That's for emergencies. but I
Yeah,
will allow
I
myself
wish
to
I
put in
was.
paid time.
Wish I was better about that.
But anyway, enough about work things, and let's
Right, but
get
no,
back to reality stuff, I
I'd like
guess.
to get it set up so where you can actually use that thing. Because I telling you, on those 10-hour days, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is get the 410s where I have 2 days on, then a day off, 2 days on, and then 2 days off. So that I
Mm,
never, so that every time I go to work, I'm like, well, it's my Thursday, tomorrow's my Friday, as soon as I begin. And then it's like, oh,
right.
it's my Friday, you know.
Yeah.
So that way it'll feel like I'm kind of always at the end of my week if I manipulate my mind to think like that. Um, be a little easier for me to deal with the long days. But I used to work 15, 16-hour nights, so with no breaks and no lunches. So
You're
it
crazy.
shouldn't be that big of a deal for me once I get rolling. I've done worse.
Okay. But yeah, if you end up wanting to get that set up, I can help you do that. I know it helps me a lot, but every person's different on the things that help them. Um, what goals did you accomplish this week?
I basically just watched the video, downloaded the brushes, imported them, and moped around. That was basically
Okay.
all I did.
Okay.
Um,
Cool beans.
yeah.
I mean,
So
and it's like a weird week for you, so I'm not hating.
yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it,
Well, okay. I'm
this
gonna
is the one thing that I said in the beginning, which would be like
a death in the
the
family.
excuse, a death, basically. Something that demanded the time that it was. You can't do anything about it. It's happening to you.
Well, something else that's kind of interesting is we ended up we've never taken like a procrastination day. Like each one of these has always been, even in this scenario where we had an issue where you're able to accomplish anything, but I don't think our system allows for procrastination days. It's more like this is a meetup, and if you procrastinated during the week, which is interesting because I thought it was going to be a
Right.
different situation or a different system. But anyways,
Oh, tell me. I'm curious.
oh, what I
Define
thought it
that a
was going
little
to
bit
be.
more.
So I assumed when we met up, it was going to be if we decided if it was going to be a work day or a procrastination day.
Oh, like when we do this.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
but it doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem like our system is because we're both working on goals and we want to like talk about our goals. Like it's inevitable that we're just working every week, which is good because I mean we still procrastinate during the week.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I thought this was the introspection. This is when you look at yourself and you evaluate your week. And and I guess I've even on weeks where I don't feel like I've done anything, or maybe even vice versa. That week you had struggled. I
Right.
still feel like doing this point, this video and looking at yourself maybe helped the next day or help,
Oh, it
beyond that
absolutely
point.
does.
So I feel like it's like if there's anything, at least if I don't do anything, this is doing something. It's making me look at myself and look at my week. So I don't know. It'd be hard for me to choose unless we're like, dude, we've got stuff done, stuff's rolling. Let's just play a game together and
Yeah.
record it.
There would have to be no way to move forward in order for us to be like we're basically in the waiting phase of something.
Or we just kick some butt and we want to just do a game together.
That's
I
true.
don't see
But
that as being a problem. More like a reward. you know?
Right. So maybe it would be like a short, like, here's what we did, and then it would just transition into let's play a game.
Yeah, I could see that.
Um. So, a couple things I want to mention. First, we did go try to do the bank, so that's a boon on your end. And we also basically made a board game.
Yeah, we did. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing that I don't know. I think I just didn't want to stop doing something. I wanted to get more done. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's addicting. It's addicting to just like be accomplished or accomplish
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
I guess that one day, Saturday, we worked like basically all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it was the night that I came home.
Yeah. No, I had to get off it, or we had to reset at 8, I think, or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it was almost 8 o'clock, maybe when I left. I don't
Yeah, it
know.
was like 8:50 when you left, or 7:50 when you left. So
And we actually did get some core mechanics and some thoughts down on a board game,
oh yeah,
which
like
is pretty
it's
cool.
like yeah, no, that board game sounds a lot of fun, and it feels like it's pretty close to like we just need specifics.
Playtesting up the yang. I mean,
And then
but
like figuring
besides
out
that,
like what the cards do, like different what like
right.
what's on them. But
Mm.
there's a lot to the game I really enjoy.
Oh, it's good. I mean, you play more board games than I, so you'd probably have more of an understanding of what could be fun.
No, it sounds
Um,
fun though. Just like
that's true. We did do Saturday, and we did a long Saturday, so I guess I shouldn't feel too bad about
no,
what we did.
be easy on yourself.
Well, that's cool. Thanks for that. I forgot about that.
Heck yeah, dude. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Um, Something else I've noticed this week is that I really like crossing things off my goals list. I did not think it was going to be as addicting as it is. But every time I do it now, I'm like, every time I accomplish something, I'm like looking over, I was like, what's on my to do list? What goals I got? Ooh, I can cross this one off. I can cross that one off. It's
Yes,
it's something
I
I look
think
forward to.
having them broken down into very small things really facilitates that.
And you feel good doing it. I like when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't get anything from this. But now I do. So it's like,
That's cool. Yeah, I've always kind of liked it. I don't know
yeah.
why, but I'm glad you've become one of the fold.
Okay, so my goals this week were get brushes for James, which I finished, edit the video by Sunday night, which I finished Wednesday night. Got the bank. We tried to do the bank. I drew other stuff, which none of it was all that great. It's fine. And then I did 3 thumbnails for our story, and then I put the pancake into the drive.
You gonna show these
Yes, I
sketches?
am.
Excellent.
All right. So see what I see. We need James, James, dance across
The even though this week, you get, something happened, in my life, and it took some time to kind of like recover from that. Knowing that I had this group, this accountability thing on Saturday, it did kind of like help funnel me back in to, thinking about what my goals are and all that. Um, it's a valuable thing to have that weekly thing. I didn't realize, how what it could help with in that regard too. When things, because I mean, if somebody doesn't have somebody, it's easy to let something like tragedy or something, a bump in the road, to get to you. But if you have that weekly kind of like refocus moment, it can stop you from just going, forget it. I haven't made any progress, and there's all this stuff going on in my life. Forget it, and then you just forget and give up. But with something like our weekly thing, there's almost no chance that that's going to happen.
Yeah,
Even
because there's so much accountability. I think it's such a big deal. Like you're saying, just having this weekly meetup and recording it and putting it out just
yeah.
feels like it really solidifies it. Like, I don't even. Okay, so we've got 3 sketches here. This one is so this is like garbage heaps basically.
Can
And
you
he's
zoom
just
it in a little bit? It's like
yeah.
a teeny tiny.
Well, that's the reason that's how I drew it. It was just like little
Oh, okay.
thumbnails. But we can zoom in. And so it's like basically a garbage heap.
Okay, what? Okay, hold on. Because in this sketch, I see Pancake Man like surfing on a wave. What is this picture?
So it's supposed to be, and this is just a thumbnail, so it's not like it's supposed to be a finished
I
image.
know, I know. I was like, wait, what is this? He's got sunglasses on. He's he's surfing.
So it's basically him like basically walking across the dump.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
these are just different like piles of trash in the background.
Do you see what I see
Oh
now?
yeah, no, he's
He's on a
surfing.
surfboard. He's like, woo!
No, I getcha.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, all right. Pancake, garbage. Whoa.
This is Pancake Man. This is like a shot from inside the bowl looking out at Pancake Man
Mixing up his
wife.
his wife. Does he have to look so intense?
Yes, it's his thing. He's
Like,
always intense.
can he just have some love in his eyes? I mean,
No, he's
my goodness.
intense 24/7.
All right, all right. That's the artist's choice, man. That's what's gonna happen.
And this is the cooking of the wife.
I'm glad she's happy. Glad
Yeah.
she's not like some crazy intense look in her eyes.
No, she's happy because she's not fucking the first pancake. She's like, she's well taken care of.
Good, good. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
I I like it. I like that. It's very nice. Some
Thanks.
pleasant thoughts there.
I feel like not everything has to be dark and gloom with them.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, I have to try. I just briefly but it was with my mouse, so I didn't have any
Oh,
pressure
yeah.
control. I just
Pressure's
tried out
important.
those brushes. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, how it's completely different when you have the pressure sensitivity going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have
I
to give them
can
a
like
shot.
after this I can show you like kind of how I use it and then maybe
Sure,
that'll help
why not?
because I think that'll be a big deal. Okay. So we've looked at the
Oh,
past.
what was funny during this week is me and Heather were like, we just don't. We just wanted to just get away from death and all that stuff, right? So we're like, hey, we'll just watch like some Star Trek Next Generation episodes, that we've been binging, right? I swear, almost every episode we watched, like the main theme is death. Someone dying, like contemplating the whole thing about death. Like every episode practically. It's like, okay,
Jeez.
what the crap? We're just looking at each other. We're like, oh, it's a good thing we want to get away from this topic.
Right.
So funny. Yeah.
That's That sucks.
Yeah, like I mean, normally Star Trek, it's races that you find new species, something normal in space. No, no, just seriously looking at death as like the entire like episode of every aspect of like deaths of people and like all that has to do with the feelings and emotions. Like, I'm like, this can't be
Wow.
real. It's so funny. Yeah, it was interesting.
Wow. All right. So how are you feeling about accomplishing things this week?
I feel good about this week. Because as I went through all of this, it made me look at, those days I was talking about. And even if I don't get um, those, the 410s, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and I just have the same schedule, I am going to think about trying to hopscotch my weeks in a way. Um, I have like those three aspects. I want to give myself at some point a full day to myself. And if that
Mm-hmm.
means like, okay, this week is gone, but I'm gonna spend like a really dedicated day on family and relationships, and then the next day off I'm going to spend on working on business and goals and all that. Well, then next week I'm going to dedicate a whole day to myself, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to do as much with maybe family or business. So I basically want to dedicate a day, and if I have to do that because I only have 2 days off, I'm just going to make it a kind of a bi-weekly thing where I make sure I still get what I feel like is a full chunk actually checked off, instead of trying to half-ass everything, and
Right.
feeling like everything is half-assed and not, it, I think I'm going to do it no matter what. But anyway, so during this week, as I'm watching myself, and I know in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting anything done. But I'm like, but come on. Um, I've been preparing myself mentally for what I'm going to do after this period of time where we have this
Okay.
meeting. So I think it's going to be a very productive week, and I'm
I'm
actually really
excited.
excited about what I'm going to get done this week because reevaluating what is important to me, which is what this death did,
Mm-hmm.
it made me realize that, when it came down to it, it was the moments with the people. It was the moments with my dog. It was the moments that I didn't take that I should have. And that made me just go, you know what? I want to change, the way that I am. I want to be able to, I feel like so much of my life is with relationships. It feels like I am just checking off a box. Like, yeah, I spent time with them. I talked with them,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just me making sure I checked off that box. It has not been the dedicated, time that I would say um, made it so I made a memory of some kind,
Right.
that it meant something to me as much as it should. And because of that, it's made me reevaluate every, thing I do, like with getting things done and all that. And how I space that. I'm like, I like visit people and I do things with people, but I I really just need to to make it more of what I was talking about, like enough time and enough like dedicated, like, hey, I'm not just here for an hour and just making sure I see you. It's
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend some time with you, and we're gonna have a moment. If it costs me a few bucks, it costs me a few bucks, but I'm gonna do something, to make a memory instead of having that possibility of the regret, you know.
Yeah.
So
Instead of like checking boxes, try to like live in the moment type of like deal.
yeah, but more like living in the moment is easy to say. It's hard to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's with this whole thing of like actually dedicating, you know, like an entire this day is about this. And if I get anything else done, I get great. I get something done. But you know what? I'm like, hey, I'm going to visit, my mother, my father, and that is what the goal is that day. I'm going to build that relationship. I'm going to spend some time, and when I think they want me to go, I'll go. But the
Mm-hmm.
goal is that's the goal. The
Right.
moment and the memory and the bonding is the goal, and
Rather than
that's the
trying to
goal
just
for
like,
that's the day, the entire day. That's the goal.
mm-hmm.
Instead of just okay, I visited
Yeah, because
them.
you like
Yeah,
push a whole bunch of stuff onto the same day, and you try to get it all done. Yeah.
yeah. I've realized that it doesn't have to be like this massive amount of time that you spend with people that matter. It's it could just be a little like one day here and there, and it still is enough to build a relationship. It still is enough to create a memory. And so that's what I'm gonna change my life kind of like into is okay, when I do something, I'm going to do it that day, and that is the goal. Like, and I know I have all these things on a checkbox, and it kind of like says no to that, but it's not really because like if I was gonna work on stuff, I'm gonna try to make it so like okay, well today I'm gonna work on stuff. I'm gonna work on stuff like all day. Yeah, I might take breaks and do this and do that, but the goal is to get some business done, work on my dreams and that kind of stuff. Then family day is okay. It's family day. Yeah, I might clean the house a little bit, but I'm with family. I'm doing like my goal is the family, and so
Mm-hmm.
so making my days off have a central like aspect or theme or central person that I am focusing on, and that is the goal. So it's kind of a little bit different than how I've done things in the past, but I think it's more meaningful, and I think it actually could help me to get more things done at the same time. I don't know. I will know as the data comes in over the
Yeah, you'll have to
weeks.
keep us updated because it sounds interesting. It sounds like it'd work, but also I'm very
In
curious to like,
theory,
yeah,
yeah, in
every
theory, it
right.
sounds like it could work, but the goal isn't really the am I getting stuff done? It's the quality
Mm-hmm.
of the time, and it's making sure that I don't have all those stacked up regrets. And some of that is the work regrets. I mean, you're like, oh yeah, did I? Oh yeah, I downloaded the brushes. I did. Yeah, that's not for me. It's like, yeah, okay, I basically did nothing this last week.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, you have your own reasons too, and you shouldn't discount them. Like you may feel
yes,
you may feel guilty about it, but it's also important to remember that everyone grieves in their own way. And just because you felt like you might have been able to do more doesn't mean you needed to.
I know, and I know that's true. I mean, my dog knew she was loved, and you know, I treated her all the time. Um, but I look back and I go, it's like when you spend time with people and maybe take out your phone at the same time. It's like I wish I wouldn't have taken my phone out so much. Is
Mm-hmm.
basically kind of the way that I'm rolling. And I want to be more in the moment with people and less about, oh, okay, yeah, I visited them. Yeah, okay, you visited them, but did you make a memory? Are you gonna remember that in a week? Was it worth remembering? Did you do anything that did you say anything that meant anything? You know, so it's more of the quality. And with the business aspect, it's like that's what I want to do with my business like side too. I want to be like, hey, I'm getting some stuff done today because this is the time I'm going to get it done. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna really dive into something like with everything I have and really spend some time on this. And if I need a break, I need a break. Maybe come back when I feel like it's all good. Got my new cup of coffee, maybe throw on some incense, and just listen to some music as I, move into it. Just really like make the day into like I'm getting stuff done today. This is the choice. Kind of like the choice would be to spend the time with the person, but instead I'm spending the time with getting things done.
Mm-hmm.
And really just like as if the business side of me was just one of those persons that I was talking about. So I a little bit of a tweak of the theory, but I think it might have an impact in the quality of the output and the quality of the relationships. Thank you, dog, for showing me a little bit of that in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Yeah, it's good to be thankful too, like you just did. It's something that so I was reading a book. Um you're gonna
Please
laugh.
don't
It's
go into the thank you for my breathing and thank you for having arms and thank like those people that are like these self affirmation people, on
no,
these.
no.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to wake up and spend 15 minutes saying thank you for my arms and legs and everything.
No. So I noticed that I think if
I mean,
like oh
I'm
sorry.
thankful for them. Don't get me wrong.
Right. No, but I was reading a book or listening to it, the Marie Kondo um tidying your life or whatever.
Right.
And she talks about like thanking the items around you for like doing their job, and you start to appreciate your
The
stuff more.
inanimate objects.
Yeah, like you don't have to thank them out loud, but like
Okay.
it
Please go
makes you
ahead. Continue.
appreciate the things that you have, and you take care of them a little bit better.
Do you take like serious quantities of time to do that, or?
No, no, no. It's just like makes you because okay, there's a systemic issue, and I think it's just a human thing, where when things are going fine, we assume that's just how it's supposed to be. Where if something's going wrong, we don't like if something's going wrong, we're like, oh man, I wish it was back like it used to be.
Not me. I assume everything's going wrong. But no.
And so it's like it's good to be thankful in the moment for the stuff that's working right because it could not be working right, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I watch the news
I
more
do
than I
not
probably should,
specifically for that reason.
and
The
I think
news
to
is the
myself,
worst.
I'm glad my home is not being bombed or that there's an earthquake in my home or I see what's going on and I go, I could have it a lot worse than I got it. Um, yeah, but it also makes me go, okay, well, I could have it a lot worse than I've got it, so I should not be squandering my time as
Oh
much
yeah,
as
no,
I
we
am.
yeah, we need to be because we don't know when things are going to change, and so it's good to
Yeah,
take
when
our time.
tragedy can happen.
Yep. And so if like basically like I want to make sure that we are financially set so that way if tragedy does strike, we're not unprepared.
Yes, money is a defense, that is for sure.
Yep. Goals. What are your goals this week?
Well,
What goals on your list are you excited about doing this week?
I am I am going to look back in the last few weeks actually and look at some things that I have had for goals, and there seems to be a central theme here where I need to spend some time. The number one goal I need to do first is go for a walk
Okay.
and spend some time with myself, as if myself was the person I was trying to visit with, and have the serious talk about, everything, and really just look at who I am and what I'm trying to accomplish, and just kind of, I mean, we have this discourse with each other every week, but I haven't had the discourse with myself in
Mm-hmm.
a long time. And I know it's like been something know I want to do, but I haven't done, probably for, a year or more. And what I'm really wanting to do is basically prepare myself for the changes that I want to make. And prepare my mind mentally for going through. It's kind of almost like a trial run of yeah. What was that little flash? A
I don't
trial
know.
run.
That was like freaking me out. I was like, what was that flash?
It's like I'm, you know, everything I've just talked about in the last few minutes is a radical shift in what I do and how I do things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a new version of my program, so to speak. And I need to give my brain some cycles mentally of doing that. Kind of like walking myself through the week, thinking about how it's going to work. Um, Kind of like meditating on it, in a way. And seeing if I see any flaws, stumbling blocks that are going to make it so that change is not going to be, something that actually happens. So that's basically what I need to do is I need to go and think about how I want to be, how I want to change, and then see if I like it in my mind. Because to some degree, you can change, but you can only change if it's something that you really, really want, really, really desire. And so I need to find out if this person over here, the one I want to talk to, me, really believes in that change or not. You know, so I need the conversation with myself. That's the number one thing I need to do. Beyond that, it's how to prepare myself mentally for um, doing that next business step where I was just talking about, is really diving in and having a day that I dedicate on getting stuff done. And so, kind of like digesting that too, and then choosing a day, whether it be today or whether it's going to be tomorrow. Those are my 2 days of when, and I think it's going to be today. I think, when I'm done with this call and when I have a moment, I'm going to go for that walk. I'm going to do that thing. And then when I get back, it's going to be my day for getting stuff done. And I want to feel my way into that and see what I can do with this next kind of like strategy of how I want to be. And, that's basically, I don't know Oh yeah, I was talking about the goals. So that's the major thing is basically I am implementing an entirely new version of how I want to work.
Mm-hmm.
That is the major goal for the week. Can I do that and then it's observe it and see what I actually get done. That's the major goal. Beyond that is just basically little check boxes that I haven't checked boxed off in multiple weeks. Right
Uh,
in
no,
30-minute chunks. You know,
no,
all these things.
I
Go
don't.
ahead. Say what you're
Okay.
trying to.
I think, I think once a week is over, those goals are null and void. You can't go back and finish those.
Oh, I'm not going back and finishing those. That's a standing goal for me.
Okay,
Like,
well,
is drawing a standing goal for you, or do you have to
I write it out
redefine
every
that
week.
every? But don't you just draw?
Yeah, but I'm still going to put it on the
Well, I just
list.
write. I mean, that's just like a standing thing. It's like I should be writing. I
Okay.
should find time to write.
So, let's write down let's write down your goals, cuz you can't go back and do like last week's goals and like check those off. You have every week you have new goals. So that way
Okay.
there's
All
not
right.
a like
I mean,
backlog of filling, like
I
there's not like
won't.
a backlog of things you have to accomplish.
Okay. Well, um,
So number 1 is like go for your walk, which sounds very important. And then number 2 is what did you put down for, what do you want to put down for number 2?
well, the basic concept is whatever I figure out from my walk, I want to start working on, whether that's the art side or the writing side or some other aspect
Okay.
of this business arrangement that I
Okay.
figure out while during the walk. Everything kind of is built upon
Okay.
what am I dying to do when I get back?
Right. So your goal this week is to go on your walk and like just figure that out. I think that's a good goal.
And then um on the day that I define as the business day or my working day, which ultimately is probably going to be today because tomorrow I'm going to visit my family. So it's it's what can I actually do? Can I define this day as a working day and actually get some progress in? You know, not
Mm-hmm.
just I'm checking a box on art. I'm checking a box on writing. No, did I really spend some time with writing? Did I really do something in art that made me progress in a meaningful way? I want there to be a memory, a change in the relationship I have with either art or with writing or with business in some way. That's that's what I want to do.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, I'm going to edit this video and put it up by Sunday.
Oh, that does ask beg a question. And why so late last week?
Um, it was just a rough start to the week for me. Like I didn't get anything done. I didn't get it done on Sunday. I ended up pushing it off, and then something came up, and then I just didn't finish it. And then I was gonna do it Monday, but I had a case of the Mondays, and I was just like, didn't want to do anything. After 10 hours, it's just so much. And then basically, it just took me a while to like get the motivation to do it. So it really solidifies I need to get it done on Sunday, so that way
Mm,
That way I'm not wondering.
yeah, that's a good point.
And then I'm going to draw other stuff this week.
Well, I'm actually kind of glad last week, I guess, that you didn't. That kind of actually worked out in my favor because I wouldn't have been able to. Well, Sunday night, if you would have got it up, Monday I probably could have watched it. So okay, but it's a good thing you didn't get it done Tuesday because it would have been a while probably for me to watch that. It all worked out for the best
Yeah.
because got me because I wanted to make sure I watched it, so it got me into okay. Well, I gotta do something, you know. It was something that it helped me ease back into a normal routine.
Mm-hmm. So I've got 2 goals. Do you want to do KDP today? Or I mean, maybe do we have time for KDP today?
Um,
Or would you rather just kind of like maybe push it off till next week when we have more time?
um, let's push off deciding that until after the video, I guess, because I'm
Okay.
not sure yet.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So I'm going to stick with those 2 goals this week. And then if I get some other stuff done, awesome. But let's just start with those 2 goals this week. Okay. Um, is there anything else you want to talk about before we close it out?
No, I mean, it's been an interesting week. I just want to say for people, even if you have some few weeks of some rough times, you just have to keep the goal in mind. Yeah, you shrug it off and keep going. And I think no matter what happens, no matter if it's something a tragedy or just you being not in the right mood, just keep that goal in mind. Push forward. Try to get that accountability. Get somebody you can talk to about your progress. Um, and and keep going. I think it's completely doable no matter what if you don't give up.
Yeah. It's something I've found that helps with being successful at things. It's not about just, it's not a binary. It's not you're doing it or you're not doing it. It's, oh, I hit a hiccup. I'm going to keep going. Like I had a bad day where I didn't get anything done, or I had a bad week where I didn't get anything done. Doesn't mean I'm not still accomplishing my goals and working towards them. I'm not a failure because of this. I had a hiccup and we're going to keep going. It's like getting locked into that either I'm doing it or not doing it mindset, I think promotes quitting or promotes feeling bad when you don't like accomplish your goal or do something, which leads to quitting because it feels bad to do it.
It makes me think about listening to that. It makes me think about what a big difference it has been having the time period at which we kind of look at our goal setting scenario as a week period of time instead of a daily thing. It is so much easier to look at yourself. Like if I had to look at myself in a daily manner and look at the last 2 weeks, I might quit. I
Yeah.
might be like, forget it. I mean,
It's
I
because
can't do nothing.
it's
But if
because
you
yeah. Go ahead.
but if you look at it like a week period and you see these things as just, you know, structures of your week, and but you've defined yourselves as somebody who wants to get this project done or that dream done or whatever, it is much easier to continue going. It's going, okay, yeah, the week didn't go well, but I understand the week. I'm going to move forward instead of just being like, my daily goals are this. Oh crap, I never get them done. I'm a failure. Forget it. I'm done. It's been days now. I haven't got any. It's so much easier to quit if you have all those unrealistic situations in your life and you just daily goals, and you can't get them done. That's my thought
Yeah.
on it.
It's good to set your goals lower than you want, just in the off chance that like you can't accomplish them, and basically you want to make easily accomplishable goals to not only get you like that motive, like because it's like you said before, it's like a snowball effect where it's like once you start one, you can easily it'll end up pushing you into another one and that type of stuff. Where it's just like it builds up over time, like momentum. And with daily goals or with goals that are something that we've learned is like not specific enough goals, you really feel bad when you don't accomplish them. And so it's like, ugh. And then you just, because goals should make you feel good so that you keep working on them to keep pushing you towards other ones. Because we're creatures of habit where like we steer towards things that makes us feel good and we steer away from things that make us feel bad. So it's like we want to make sure that we're feeling good when we accomplish things, just on a subconscious level.
No, totally. That's kind of like what this walk is going to be. It's like me trying to feel good about what I want to do so that I can kind of hype myself up in a way that's also just not today. It's kind of like, this is how I want to structure my mind so that I can progress like this as time goes on. I want to have those meaningful relationships, but I also want to have that meaningful relationship with myself, that day that I have for me. And I also want to have that meaningful relationship with the business goal aspect of myself. So if I need to, because let's say I don't get the 3 days off. If I need to stretch that out into a 2 week kind of thing, where in order to fulfill all those aspects of myself, I have to stretch out my scenario, then as long as there's a production of it, like these are meaningful situations that are accomplished by it, then it's worth it. Even if I have to stretch it out a little bit more. I mean, we had talked about previously where as long as you get some stuff done each week or whatnot, you have X amount of times per year that you have made a meaningful change. That's going to have production in your life. And you can have a decade of doing nothing like I have had, or you can have a decade of every week or two you've made a meaningful change. And what is that going to equal in another decade? You're going to be in a vastly different position than you were at the starting point.
Yep. So in the event that you do end up doing off, like you don't end up getting the 3 days, would you still be open to doing a weekly video for this?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
I'm going to keep everything the same. It's just that I'm going to be working harder on those days that I work because I want to position myself so that I can choose to have more time off. I want to financially change myself. So yes, the answer is yes. I will still do a weekly with you no matter what.
We like those weeklies. They're so good for production.
They are.
And also, I think it is good to have to be okay with being easy on yourself this week, because I have found that having a week or two of not accomplishing your goals and then moving into a new week, it's easy to have make sure to have a very easy and accomplishable goal or two that you can start building that momentum again. Because I think it was this week and last week that you didn't end up accomplishing your goals. And
Yes.
so I don't want that momentum to go away, so I think it is very important to have very easy accomplishable goals and be easy on yourself and just understand that like we're building that momentum still.
All right. Um,
So
okay.
like number 1, just make sure you go on that walk. Other than that, I would say that should be your hard and fast goal. Like next week, it'll be, James, did you go on your walk? And you'll be like, yes. And you'll be like, good job, you accomplished your week.
And it's not going to be though if I don't have something else though to talk about of what I got done, I'm not going to feel like the walk was done because it's not just the walk that is the goal to me.
Okay.
It's the walk that is the preparation for my mind and the talk I need to be able to check things off and
Okay.
put things on. So to me, yes, the walk is the task that I need to have accomplished. But if I don't have something else to talk about, the walk wasn't successful in my mind. So expect something to be said.
It sounds like you're setting yourself up for failure.
Well, I will say that the only thing that I have to get done is the walk.
So
How about
I
that?
would argue that if you go on the walk, you have accomplished your goals for this week.
All right. We'll just say that.
Okay. Because I feel like setting the walk up with a caveat that if I don't have an arbitrary thing that I've to get done, set yourself up to be in a position where, sure, I went on the walk, but I didn't do anything, so it was a waste of my time, and it was, I think it should be something that
Okay.
pushes us forward, like builds that momentum rather than something that
Yeah.
has an
I guess
arbitrary
I can
goal.
understand that. Okay. I should compartmentalize the walk as its own thing. And yes, it may bleed off into tasks, but the goal should be the walk and the talk and the okay. Yeah, okay. I can go with that.
Yeah, I think it's just a more like productive way of looking at it, or at least in
Yeah,
long-term
because what I
projects.
said was I needed to be in the moment with those relationships. This is in the moment with me. That I need to be in the moment for not thinking, okay, well, I got to do that and then
Right.
I better multitask into this.
No.
Otherwise, no, it's time with me,
Yep.
time to
Your
think
only
about all these
goal
things.
is to start that walk. Once you've done that, you've completed it. Then it's you and yourself and your talk.
You know, that, not to extend this any
No,
longer
no,
or
no.
anything,
We're on fucking YouTube. We
but
can extend it for hours.
isn't that some of the problems with people is that no matter what, we cannot simplify these things without complicating our lives. Like we cannot, or these for me, it's very hard to just go, you know what, I am just doing this thing, and this is the goal. It is very hard for you not to just go, yeah, but I mean, I got all this time. I should be able to do all these things. I mean, and we over qualify ourselves when one thing we're lucky if we're, we're very lucky if that one thing was done today.
Yeah, I think we overthink, and I think like obligations will pull us in different directions. And our brain is very distractible, especially when it's something that we, our brain doesn't like to do new scary things, because it's like, I don't want to think, I don't want to have to do all this, because this is not easy. And so it's like, oh, what's something else that you need to get done? Let's go combine two tasks into one. Or it tries to take the quickest, easiest way out.
Yeah, and you think that's why it's combining then, huh?
I think that's just one of the many reasons. I think you should really just focus on going on the walk, and then like once you've taken the first step, your goal is done. Then it's about you and nothing else. Like, you'll have accomplished your week's goal by taking that first step. Which sometimes that's hard enough as it is. Like, taking the first step into something.
Let me define it as the first step out my door.
Right. Yeah, no. The first step.
I don't.
Yeah.
If I don't get out of the house.
No, you absolutely. It has to be a step outside the door.
All right. I'm gonna do that as my goal. What is your goal for this week?
I have two. I have edit the video, put it by Sunday, and then draw other stuff. Just draw stuff. Just practice my skills. It's gonna be a light week for both of us, and I think that's okay. Yeah. We're gonna have light weeks. But next week we're gonna come in with hopefully some gusto. If not, we'll build momentum up by doing some easier tasks. I'm gonna get both of these tasks done this week, and I'm gonna come in feeling good.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for listening to this week, watching this week.
Yeah. And
I hope you got something out of it.
Yeah, I hope you did too, guys. Make sure if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. But yeah, we also have a Discord if you want to reach out to us there. It should be a link, should be in the description. And then again, if you are liking what you hear and you have extra money that you're like, hey, these goobs need money, we have a Patreon. So throw your money at these goobs. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching. And
take it easy.
Remember, James is a giant peach.